Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to everybody. My name is Nora Shikin Sahul Hamid, and I'll be presenting a research titled Recognition Prior Experiential Learning Rpel program for the Malaysian Armed Forces and Veterans in Malaysia. Our presentation outline include the introduction, problem statement, research objectives, literature review, research methodology, analysis, and conclusion. The resettlement management framework for the retired non-commissioned officers is critical after service. It entails looking for another job to survive financially and maintain their well-being after dedicating a significant portion of their productive life to the service. These officers retire at 40 years old. Although they may access various services through the resettlement network, the effectiveness of existing methods is virtually unexplored. Some cannot get jobs because of inadequate educational qualifications and experiences. The lack of publications linked to identifying the elements that enable a successful transition is the most significant restriction discovered in the literature. The problem statement is that not much is known about veterans from the non-commissioned officers' causes that lead them to leaving the military or what criteria predict their employment success post-service. There is no proper structure for military officers from the NCOs for their resettlement after retirement. Therefore, many NCOs have difficulty settling down after retirement. They struggle to get jobs to sustain their new life where the Ministry of Defence no longer supports them. Different from officers who are commissioned, the non-commissioned officers do not have the perks as how commissioned military personnel have after retirement. Therefore, these NCOs face depression, anxiety, and some may even resort to illegal conduct to support themselves and family due to no jobs or enough income to sustain a comfortable living. The research objective of the study include to investigate the employment opportunities after retirement for NCOs and to evaluate the current resettlement courses being conducted by Perhebat to suit the digital era, which includes Rpel functions and responsibilities. Literature review. Veterans often use higher education as a bridging strategy to combat unemployment and better prepare themselves for the civilian economy. Hunter Johnson 2018. However, in this case, most Malaysian non-commissioned officers do not have the education qualification to help them secure a job after service. This, along with the transitional services offered by the military for commissioned officers, the federal government or states, allows veterans with ranks to move more smoothly. Despite such personal endeavours, veterans still face transitional obstacles while pursuing employment in the civilian world, including unfavorable perceptions, misunderstandings, and exclusion by prospective employers and co-workers. After leaving the service, one of the most challenging tasks for NCOs is finding work. Transitioning from the military to the civilian economy may be difficult for NCOs for various reasons. For example, there was a lack of experience and professional growth before and during enlistment in the military. According to Clemens and Milsom 2008, those who enlisted in the military with only a high school diploma are not required to earn a college diploma for professional advancement and promotions and have limited work experience within the military to their respective branch or unit face a greater challenge in transitioning careers. Such persons may be seen as lacking the requisite expertise and transferable professional experience to make the switch to their desired vocation. Although NCOs attend in-service courses, many a time these service courses are not given equal status in the civilian world. The soldier is trained practically but does not have equivalent certificate to prove it. Research methodology. This is a case study comprising of a semi-structured in-depth interview of 3 NCOs and 1 military officer who is involved in the designing of the Rpel program. Since this research is still in its infancy, the result analysis is still in its initial stage. But what we found out so far is that Rpel is a scheme designed to enable Malaysian workers with secondary education or lower to be recognized in the current competencies in particular skills areas based on the standards determined by the Department of Skills Development or any equivalent certificates in order to facilitate career growth. Recognition Prior Experiential Learning (Rpel) program, implemented quite recently, acts as an initiative for the Malaysian Armed Forces and veterans that face career transition issue. It was formed based on a collaboration between the Malaysian Armed Forces, Perbadan Hal Ehwal Bekas Angkatan Tentera Perhebat, and the Department of Skills Development (DSD) under the Malaysian Ministry of Human Resource. It is to help the Malaysian Armed Forces and veterans get recognition based on their knowledge, skills and experience throughout their service at the national level. And anything negative associated with unemployment and no income can be avoided among the NCOs, creating satisfaction in the resettlement, especially after retirement. Many ex-military Malaysians had economic troubles and were classified as part of the B40 households. It was further added that many could not find consistent work, and those who ventured into new industries like entrepreneurship failed and lost a lot of money. Free Malaysia Today 2021. Such results in further problems, frustrations and well-being issues. Firstly, the argument after retirement is that ex-military officers, especially those from the NCOs, face significant problems after retirement, which can be listed in three categories. According to Hasanuddin 2015, the first thing includes the living standards where their income may be severely affected because after retirement, they will no longer be paid with the incentives they used to have during their services. Following this, the issue of needing to continuously support their families, especially those who have younger children that need financial support to continue their education, will be a challenge, and many difficulties arise when they cannot meet the demands. It is further stated that NCOs who retire early will also not be entitled to any pension and will face complications to continue their lives if they cannot find an alternative income that is up to the satisfactory level. The author further stated that military officers, especially those from NCOs, all retire without proper career management plans, which causes concerns in the transitioning period, thus creating other encounters relating to survival. Formerly, many became security guards, but now the civilian world prefers guards from Nepal, Bangladesh, India and Pakistan, as they can pay them less than the locals. Abbas 2020. Secondly, at the moment, organizations like Perhebat are responsible for taking care of the well-being of army officers, including those from NCOs, even developing a plan for them after retirement. However, such unemployment problems and difficulties in adjusting to normal civilian life after many years of service in the army still exist, causing significant problems among those affected and their families. Therefore, the statement of the problem is the issue of adapting to military retirement from active duty among Malaysian military officers of NCOs. Furthermore, there is no concrete framework for Malaysian Army veterans from NCOs resettlement nor a program that can ensure those. There are organizations such as the MAF or Veteran Affairs Welfare Assistance Scheme, which was created to help MAF's veterans. This organization has the objective to help veterans and their dependents with living expenses based on the income poverty line. Unfortunately, this support program, however, is just temporary. So therefore, one would ask what happens after the assistance is no longer available. Non-commissioned officers that are not trained nor have the skills to hold job positions that are offered in the market after retirement are most likely not able to get hired. Plus, most organizations prefer to hire those with experience in the job that they offer. Unless they are trained and given the opportunities to improve on their competence and mastery during service, then their chances of getting jobs after retirement will be high. Thus, the issue of unemployment. As a conclusion, at the moment, organizations like Perhebat is responsible for taking care of the well-being of army officers, including those from other ranks, even developing a plan for them after retirement. However, such unemployment problems and difficulties in adjusting to normal civilian life after many years of serving in the army still exist, causing significant problems among those affected and their families. Therefore, it is the intention of Rpel to address the issue of adapting to military retirement from active duty among Malaysian military officers of other ranks, whether it means providing the necessary education and skills to prepare NCOs for a smooth transition.